Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about the expressive language building block, which is the use of words to express meaning. These are the different stages of language development we typically talk about in the early years. For language learning to be successful, it needs to happen in the context of interactions, which are loving, enjoyable, and back and forth. And then when an adult and child are in that interaction, the adult can then add information, so add language, which is language rich and appropriate for that child's stage. The way we interact with children every day supports their current language stage and helps them move on to the next stage. Top tips for language learning at all stages are to get face-to-face with your child and observe, wait and listen to see what your child is interested in and what they're trying to communicate with you. That allows you to then respond to what your child's communicated by following their lead. You can join in the play their way and comment on what they're doing in the moment. Being responsive to all communication means that we don't value verbal communication above any other type of communication because all communication is valid. Some children might use non-verbal communication, some children might use a device to help them communicate, other children might use sign language, but all communication is valid and important to be responded to. You can add language to all interactions with your child. Use daily routines as an opportunity to model and repeat language. Use fun activities together. Anything your child enjoys and is interested in is a great way to add language. When you're out and about together at the park or on the bus or visiting different places and people, it's important to just always be adding language so that your child can learn. Sharing rhymes and songs together and sharing books together are another great way to add language, no matter what age your child is. If your child is at the discoverer stage, it's important to be responsive to their needs and behaviours. You talk to discoverers as if they can talk back to you. They love to hear your voice, so sharing songs and stories is another great way to help them. Using social routines, so fun kind of people games like peekaboo, tickles, rhymes on their hands or fingers or toes, blowing raspberries, anything that sparks interaction with your child, maybe makes them laugh. Your own wee special routines, again, is a great way to promote interaction. It allows you to maybe pause in the high moment of the game or the song, and then for your child to take a turn in the interaction, for your child to communicate with you that they want more or that they are enjoying themselves. During interactions, it's important to imitate your discoverers' actions and sounds, so to help them make the communication connection, to help them learn that what they do has an impact on you and can communicate a meaningful message with you. If your child is at the communicator stage, you can imitate their actions and sounds, you can interpret their meaning and put it into simple words. You can show your child as you talk, so you can show meaning by holding up objects, making gestures or Makaton signs, and holding up pictures or showing them pictures in a book. Offering choices is another great way to help communicators. So offering a choice of two objects that the child can then point to or reach for, and you name the objects as you hold them up, so your child's making that connection with the language to the message that they're communicating with you. Using fun sounds during play with communicators is again a great way to help them experiment with sounds and maybe learn some of their first words. So fun words like yummy or wee as you're going down the slide, or uh-oh when they drop something, are often the kind of first fun words and sounds that they might use because they're easy to copy. Things like animal noises and vehicle noises as well. And it's really important to help them move on to the next stage and learn some first words. It's really important to just highlight words that are important to your child. So special people, everyday objects, favourite toys or snacks, and repeat them often in interactions so that your child can first understand those words and then go on to use them. When children reach the first word user stage, it's really tempting to ask, what's that? What's that? What's that? Constantly, because we know they can use some words. But rather than do that, we would always advise comment rather than ask a question, so that you're giving your child a model of the words that are important to them, and then they can then repeat those words. When your child communicates a message with you, either verbally or non-verbally, you can add a single word to that message. So you either imitate the word they've tried to say or interpret from their non-verbal communication a single word and model it for them. We would also always say model back the correct version of any words they try to use. And as well as their maybe favourite people and objects, also it's really good to model some everyday action words like sit, eat, drink, sleep, play, kick, catch, and social words as well, like hi and bye and thank you, and words that are meaningful like yes and no. When a child has around 50 single words, they'll usually be ready to combine two words together. So if your first word user is at that stage where they have 50 single words, what's really good to do is to repeat back their single word and add one word on that's meaningful. So if they say bye, you could repeat back bye mummy, or if they say car, you might repeat back push car, as you're carrying out the action to help your child link two words together. If your child is combining two words together, again, model a range of different words in two-word phrases, including actions, place words like in, on and under, up and down, describing words like fast, slow, big, little, and feeling words like happy and sad. It's good as well to expand your child's single words. So if they're doing a mixture of single words and two-word combinations, every time they say a single word, you could repeat that back and put it into a wee relevant two-word phrase. When your child is frequently combining lots of two-word phrases, they might be ready to combine three words together. So you could again expand their two-word phrase into three words so that they can learn a longer phrase in the beginnings of short sentences. If you have an early sentence user, it's important to continue to highlight a wide range of new vocabulary during your everyday communication. Imaginary play is a great opportunity to model lots of really short sentences and lots of exciting, fun vocabulary. And looking at books together, again, is a great way to talk about language that you maybe wouldn't see every day, but it would be interesting to your child and fun to talk about, and giving them new language to learn. When your child speaks in a short sentence, you can expand their language by adding a word or idea to make a slightly longer sentence. So you might add in a wee describing word or a wee extra idea in their sentence. You can also model back the correct language if your child makes any wee errors. So if they mix up or miss out any of the parts of the words or the words. So for example, if they said me go park, you could repeat back, I'm going to the park. If the child said dog runned away, you could repeat back, the dog ran away. If your child is at the later sentence user stage, there's still always new language to learn. You can continue to extend their language by highlighting new vocabulary when you're giving them extra information, when you're describing things, when you're explaining the why and the how behind things. It's good to link the children's own experiences, so talk about things that they've done in the past and things that they're going to do in the future to help them with their language. It's really good as well to, at this stage, to ask open questions that prompt problem solving and imagination. So it's also good to balance out your questions with comments as well, so that they're hearing models of language that they can use themselves. Pondering comments such as, I wonder what will happen if we try this, or I wonder why this happens, are good as well for just sparking curiosity and interaction for the children's language learning. We will cover speech sounds in future videos, but I just thought it was important to mention at this stage that it's not unusual in the early years for children to still have unclear speech sounds while they're learning language. So if your child mixes up or misses out some speech sounds, or if they stammer at the beginning of a word or sentence, that's all right. But the most important thing is to listen to what the child is trying to communicate with us rather than how they're saying it. So when they do mix up sounds, we can simply model back the correct version for them to hear, but without any pressure on your child to correct themselves or repeat the word, but just model back the correct version so that they're hearing that, and in time their awareness will build up. And the most important thing is they're learning language and they're having their language validated, that you hear their message, that you are interested in what they have to say. If your child attends the Indigo group and you've got any concerns about their communication or just want to ask any questions about anything in this video, please leave a comment or send me a message or link in with your key worker if you would like to have a chat. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.